Hello.
What's going on?
Everything's good. I am, I have to say, you are like a lightning bolt that came out of left field at the most critical time in just about any election. It's those last days when people really kind of
Right,
snap.
right.
I mean, we try to lay plans and all these organizations are fundraising and making, but it takes like the human spirit to get out there and I'm sure you've been getting an unbelievable response, right?
Yeah, it's been wild. It's been absolutely crazy. Yeah, I can't lie. Very out of left field. Yeah, it's only been like 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, pretty exciting.
So tell me your name, where you are. We don't have to get too specific because there's, lunatics out
Yeah,
there.
right.
But
Well,
what you do, I don't know how, even what school, what age, any whatever.
yeah.
Throw it.
So my name's Chris Mowrey. I'm 20 years old. I go to Kennesaw State University in Georgia. I work part time, like on the weekends and stuff. Go to school on the weekdays, and yeah, I what I really want my you said like my occupation. What I really want my occupation to be is politics and kind of that social media, TikTok type stuff. But well, at
Right.
least where I'm headed. Yeah.
There was an article that was I read today about how impactful TikTok was to this election.
Right.
Now, I've been on this app leading into the 2020. So a group of us started this kind of political TikToking and got away from the kind of dancing and kind of
Right.
sillier bullshit because we were all in lockdown. And I knew that we had impact on that 2020 election, but nobody wanted to admit it because all the other platforms just, what they are. And
Right.
adults didn't quite get it yet. But this article is so clear about the impact that the FCC and the Senate, some of the Republicans on the Senate, are trying to get TikTok taken out of the United
Really?
States. Yeah,
Wow.
it's
That's
not going to
wild.
work, I don't think, but we're feeding the news to 30% of this country.
Right.
And all the big media companies are like flipping out because who wants to fucking watch CNN? I mean, what? Anyway, so what are you studying?
Economics at the moment, and with a minor in political science.
Great, great. Are you from Georgia originally?
Yeah, originally from Midtown Atlanta. Yep.
So where's your accent?
My Atlanta accent. No, so my folks are all from Ohio, from Cincinnati,
Oh, okay.
Midwest. So yeah, so I kind of yeah, I went from like it was like PEMDAS and like canceled out the Atlanta accent, Midwestern canceled out, and I just sound like
Good,
any other dude.
good.
Yeah.
So are you involved in any groups on campus or have you started any, or is that something you're looking to do leading into the next big election cycle?
Yeah, so that's something like those are the next clear obvious steps for me is like leading into doing stuff on campus involving young leaders and then maybe going actually volunteering for certain candidates but right now no I actually don't do that but that's the most clear obvious next step for me.
What are you willing to do for this Georgia runoff?
Literally anything.
Okay,
That's it.
I have a list of things. I'm going to put, I actually today I just closed out my list. I have like 1,300 people that have offered to do some volunteer work, whether it's phone calls, postcards, whatever. Um, but I'll send you that list of things that because they're going to read what you would be good to do is door knocking and getting
Okay.
young people to knock on doors. I know that there was an issue with the white vote in Georgia was not
Right. Yeah.
stellar as it could have been, especially with women.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I feel like you're. I'll get you some information.
All right, dude. That's a lot. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. Just even giving me that opportunity to just do any type of work, like and get my feet wet, essentially, would be great. Yeah, I'd love.
Yeah, no. Well, I'll definitely hook you up to the best of my ability.
Cool.
I think that how many times a day are you posting?
So I was like, I started. I guess it's been 4 weeks really, but I started 4 weeks ago, and I was like, I'm gonna post once a day. Did that for about 2 weeks. Fell very ill, so I had like a 5 day window where I didn't post. And I think after that, it's been very like I did one a day, one a day, one a day, and then I hit the really viral one, the one that was like 1 million views in a day, and that happened, and Vice reached out to me, and I kind of got this like feeling of like content block, but almost like I didn't want to post anything that wasn't going to be good enough, that wasn't going to like pop. And then I kind of did that. That was, you know, because I posted the really good one on Wednesday. What's today? Today's Wednesday. So I thought it was a week ago. Yeah. Right. So it was a week ago today. And I kind of spent a few days, and I was like, but then I just kind of was like, you know what? I just need to be myself. I just need to post what, you know, comes to mind, make good videos, and just push it. You know, obviously quality content, but volume. And so since then, like I posted 2 yesterday and 1 today. So it's kind of
try to be consistent as you're building your platform. I've learned from the time that I'm doing this, because I'm building my platform slowly, because I don't want the riffraff. I'm not into engaging with the people that are of knowledge. Right. I'm into creating a community of like mind, because that's the power that I want to kind of be part of.
Right.
The content creators have like 1 million followers, but they're forever, you know, arguing with the people and taking their comments and responding. I don't want any of that. I mean, okay. Yeah. I've done it maybe twice. It was someone that would like, you know, was so anti either Semitic gay combination.
Right. That just had to be
I was like, look who's out here on this stupid app, you know.
Right.
Anyway, but definitely be consistent. Try to do it like, I mean, if you could do 2 a day, I mean, they say ideally 3, but that's a lot if you're stupid. But if you could do 1 in the morning and 1 in the, you know, 6-ish, like morning and 6-ish, just to people start, you know, you'll consistently, because I don't know if you follow Dash Dabrowski. Are you familiar with him?
Not off the top of my head, but I might.
UCLA. He came out of left field. He blew it out of the water. So I feel like you're like another kind of, you know, young Gen Z opportunity to be part of this next wave. So I am like I'll be watching you kind of rise at this particular.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate the advice. Yeah, 2 days.
And I also think you should seriously consider, because there's this 3-week window where you can really have impact.
Right.
You know what I mean? So right. Talk Georgia, you know, whatever be about Georgia, and not, you know, forget about color, and just, you know, why you want the Senate. And I think that'll be important for you while you have this moment, you know.
Got it. Okay.
Anything else? What other, you know, anything else that you think that, what is your biggest takeaway from this last election?
I think my biggest takeaway, I had Todd reach out to me from Vice News, and he kind of asked me something similar. I think my biggest takeaway is that Republicans, over not just right now, you know, obviously we see like these poll numbers suggest this giant red wave that doesn't come to fruition, and now Republicans are calling for new leadership, and, you know, the Trumpism is kind of out the door, which is exactly what I wanted. But I think this spells trouble. My biggest takeaway is it spells trouble for Republicans over the next 10 years. If 50% of us can't vote, if we're voting for 70% Democrats, and all of a sudden through the next 10 years, Gen Z and millennials become the largest voting group, Republicans literally cannot survive off running off these super unpopular kind of like really right-wing, like extremism ideas, like abortion. That's very unpopular with Americans. Guns, very unpopular with Americans. And so I just don't see a world, and Trumpism for that matter, very unpopular with Americans. I think this spells the Republican Party is going to have to change and either become, you know, reel themselves in from being so right and being so fascist, and start to come to compromise, or they're not going to hold any power in the next 10 years, especially as Gen Z starts to grow up. That was my biggest takeaway.
Do you have any friends that are Republicans by any chance?
Yes, actually, the majority of my friends are Republicans, believe it or not. And it's all lighthearted. You know, I've been friends with them for so long. But I talk to them quite frequently. We get in quite frequent, you know, long night debates and such. But yeah, I'm kind of a needle in the haystack, being in a suburb of Georgia. But but yeah, I think they, at least for them too, they're hopping off they after this election, they seem to start to realize that what Americans actually care about, and they see themselves. I see them reeling in less of the really leaning stuff and being more of that moderate Republican, because it just doesn't resonate with Americans, and it didn't even resonate with them. Like Republicans and the Trumpism Republicans can push out this idea of the election was rigged, and we need to stop the radical Democrats and all that, but that doesn't resonate with Americans who are actually struggling with day-to-day things. Moderate Republicans, like I'd have debates with them all the time. I can get behind if you want to argue that inflation is this giant problem and crime is this giant problem and the economy and blah blah. I might not agree with you, but at least that resonates with Americans, and that's like a talking point. Whereas spewing that the 2020 election was rigged and we need to do this overhaul of our election system, Americans who are going to work 12 hours a day every day trying to feed their family, they don't care. So I think that was
right. And do you think you could get like a 2-minute, like a 3-minute conversation with one of your friends and have like a conversation on TikTok with them, or they would not want
like, oh,
well, you should just practice having those kind of conversations. It's not for December 6th. December 6th is much more like vote, Senate, bitch, fuck you, whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
Yeah, right.
But that would be something that, again, because now that I try to always be in the present, like I'm not thinking about 24, but I'm always thinking about 24.
Right.
Let's say they get rid of Trump and it is what's his name? DeSantis, because he's young, without even listening to him, might be somehow an attraction to young people.
But right, exactly. Well, that's what like my main concern has been, because I even said this in my live last night. They're like, who do you think the Democrats should run? I'm like, it's not that I disagree with any of these Democrats, but with Democrats, they will kill it, but they need someone with energy. And if you have someone like DeSantis who's younger and you run him against someone like Biden's going to get killed, because there's kids like me who Gen Z clearly has some influence in the vote. And there is kids like me, I approve of the job Joe Biden's doing. But I have friends who think like-minded to me who just can't get behind it. He doesn't have the fire. And I'm telling you, the Democrats I pray for it, someone out of left field for 24 that can just bring that pop. And I think they'll win.
I just want to throw in a way for you. I'm not going to change you or your friends' minds.
That's
senior.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, I'm actually hoping that it is Trump that gets nominated, because we could literally pull Joe Biden out in a casket. And
right. That is true.
You know what I mean?
Hey, that's a fantastic way to look at it. That's a fantastic.
We would just roll him out, formaldehyde it out, and he would win.
And he'd be fine. He'd win. Right, exactly.
I mean, I happen to love him. I predicted way early on, before he even won, that I said he's gonna win, and it's gonna be like an FDR-ish kind of presidency, which
right,
seems to be true. The thing is, we have 2 years for him to put, because we still have the Senate, we could do a lot of good things for young people so that no matter who runs, again, we're going to have many conversations between now and November 24. But I just wanted to tell you that you are a breath of fresh air on TikTok. You got to stay here and be part of this next wave into these next 2 elections. And especially if you want to get into politics, you're going to find a lot of power here for you. And I'm happy to kind of tout your horn, whatever,
I appreciate the hell out of it. I can't tell you enough how much all that means to me. I appreciate it a lot.
All right. Well, you keep on going. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think I'm good. Like I said, just like I cannot state it enough. I appreciate you so much. I want to say, like, truly, I'm super sorry that you sent those emails and I was just I dead on arrival.
Are you kidding?
Totally on me.
The world, honey. No. Wait.
Right. It's bad. It's bad. But I cannot tell you enough truly, I can say it a million times, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot.
No, no,
And
no.
you do
I
great
think
things, and yeah,
it's a mutual admiration society. It wasn't meant to be any sooner than it is now. It is what it is.
it is
But
right, right.
you're amazing. You stay true to yourself
Thank you.
and just keep going. And again, do what you can for the next few weeks about
Yep.
the Senate, about, just I'll send you I'll send you an email with a bunch of things that you can at least look at and sound bites to say, and do it in your voice. Do not sound like anybody but you, because you're
Got it.
awesome.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot.
You be good. Have a good night. Good luck in
All right, you too. Stay safe, all right?
Happy holidays.
All right, you too. Thank you so much.
Take care.